Hi guys, welcome back to my season 10 of Wentworth. This is episode 4, titled Psychiatrist. This episode begins with Will holding a staff meeting and announces that the new prison psychiatrist will be arriving today. Suddenly, the staff room door flung open and Bridget Westfall walked in, apologising for being late on her first day back in Wentworth. In H1, Rita is sat at the table with Chrissy, going over what her testimony in court is going to be. Ali, Boomer and Ruby are sat on the couch. Ruby is still heartbroken over Zaina's death and promises to make Luke Ellie pay. Linda enters and gets Rita, Ruby and Chrissy ready for court, which is today. In Vera's office, Vera and Bridget talk. Bridget asks Vera what she wants her to do, and Vera says that she just needs some evidence that Joan could have or could be capable of change. Bridget agrees as a favour to Vera. As Ruby is walking with Linda, Rita and Chrissy ready to go to court, she runs into Lou, who mockingly wishes Ruby luck. Ruby tells Lou that she will never ever follow her as top dog. Lou then promises that she'll make an example out of Ruby when she returns from her day at court. Lou then walks away, but bumps into Steve Faulkner, the new GM. She continues to blackmail him and asks for a burner phone. Since he doesn't want anyone to know about his sexuality, he agrees. Joan is then called into Bridget's office and is shocked to see Bridget back in Wentworth. Joan immediately apologises for everything she has put her and Frankie through over the years. Bridget is shocked, and as they talk more, she believes that Joan is being sincere with her apology. Bridget offers Joan a deal. As long as she continues to participate in their sessions and stays on the good path, with no signs of any darkness whatsoever, she won't send her to the mental institute. Joan agrees with this deal. At court, Jonesy is asked to make his plea, and with all the evidence that's stacked against him, he goes for a guilty plea. But he is going to use the pressure of his job as an excuse to gain sympathy from the jury, as well as lying, saying that the events of Ruby's kidnap did not actually happen. Joan returns to her cell and sees Lisa sat at the table. Joan sits at the table with Lisa and congratulates her as their plan is succeeding. A flashback shows Joan and Lisa talking in the van on the way to prison. Lisa knew Joan from the news, and Joan offered Lisa protection in prison and a top dog status as long as she helped Joan get revenge on Luke Ellie for everything she had ever done to Joan. Obviously, Lisa agreed. In H1, Boomer is having morning sickness and tells Ali that she's scared about being a mum since she didn't have a good role model mum growing up. Ali supports Boomer and reminds her that she did have Liz, and Liz was the best mother figure anyone could have had. Back in Vera's office, Bridget tells Vera that she believes that Joan is trying her hardest to change, and that Bridget wants to give Joan a second chance. Vera agrees to this. In Lou's cell, Steve turns up with the burner phone and gives it to Lou. He tells Lou that their arrangement is now over, but Lou turns around and says that it's over when she says it's over. At court, Rita and Ruby tell the jury about the day Ruby was kidnapped. The judge calls for a recess until the following day to give the jury time to mull over all of the evidence presented. Bridget later goes home to Frankie, and Frankie isn't happy that Bridget is getting sucked back into the world of Wentworth, but she promises to support her decision no matter what. As they begin to talk about Ferguson, Frankie is very shocked to discover that Ferguson could have turned over a new leaf, as the whole time she's known her, she's just been evil. As Rita and Ruby return, they are dragged to the laundry by Lou and Lisa's crew. In the laundry, Lisa has something planned, and makes it clear that Rita is now under her protection and no one is to touch her. Lou then grabs Ruby and confronts her about her comment earlier that day. Ruby still refuses to obey Lou, since she killed Zaina, so Lou smirked and pulled out a pair of scissors. Her crew held Ruby down, and Lou cut off one of Ruby's fingers as a punishment. Ruby is taken instantly to medical. The episode ends with Lou on the phone to someone, telling them that the plan is still on, and that she will need a gun delivered to the prison in 3 weeks' time. So, that is the end of episode 4, titled Psychiatrist. What did you guys think of this episode? I feel like it was not as action-packed as the other episodes, but it was kind of a nice break just to kind of focus more on characters than anything else, because I can promise you that the next episode is going to be jam-packed full of action, and again, no one's safe. So please let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments below and what you'd like to see in future episodes. And make sure, if you are enjoying this series so far, to please subscribe to the channel and like all the videos that have been in the series so far. Now that 4 episodes have been submitted, there are only 8 more left to come in this season, so let me know what you want to see in this season, and thank you.